Hello there, Pisces. Welcome to your September 2025 reading. My name is NiJiLL, and you have found alchemy. Okay, I don't know if you listened to your fall 2025 reading, but these cards were pre-pulled from that reading as promised. I'm going to summarize them. I go into a lot more detail in the other reading. It does cover September, October, and November, your entire fall. So, listen to it. It's short for what it is. And also your birthday reading is up, and 3 blessings coming to Pisces for 2025 and 2026. I'll probably hook that up in your comments section or at the end of this video on the screen. All that said, let's get started. Like I said, I'm going to summarize this so you're not completely lost. Let's see. Okay, so first up you do have the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is, it's very traditional. This is a massive deck. It has a lot of different cards, a lot of alternate cards. But this is a card that is pretty traditional, right? You see the 2 cups here. You see the 3 cups spilt. You see him focusing on the cups that are spilt. Regret, looking towards, honestly, I think it's looking towards the past. It is time to look towards the future. And believe it or not, the future in this card is behind him, not in front of him. If all he has to do is obviously turn around to see that. Let me see if I could do this without, probably not, right? But let's do this here. Wait. This is actually, this should be in reverse. Wait a second. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. I hate when these cards are all, when I mess them up, and it's always me. Anyway, this shouldn't be in reverse. So we have the Fool card, and as you can see, what I like about this, we know that the Fool is Gemini, Aquarius energy, but more than that, you see, you see him. I told you that he's looking towards something that happened instead of just turning around and seeing what he has or what's possible for him. And he obviously could be a she, but if he turns around, he will see the Fool. And the Fool represents what? It represents a new road, a new path, a new outlook, accepting perhaps even a new way of thinking. But it's something, it is ground zero, and it is something brand new. And here you have the King of Swords. Oh, excuse me a second. This is why I hate, I always pull so many cards, that the King of Swords is last. So here you have the 8 of Pentacles coming in sideways. My sideways cards are absolute decisions, right? So when a card comes in reverse, you have Sun and Virgo here, a decision. And this is the card of hard work, right? Where do you put your hard work in? The past or the future? Should you keep working on this thing that spilt over? Maybe you feel you can pull those cups up and back into an upright position and refill them. You're going to make a decision in September with that. You do have the King of Swords coming in reverse. And, this is Sun and Aquarius energy, even in this deck. This is a Swedish deck, by the way. And the Swedish deck, it can be a little bit different. But, King of Swords in reverse, Sun and Aquarius, someone who, this could be somebody you're dealing with, or it could be somebody that you step into temporarily, or it could be an energy that someone else steps into temporarily. So what is the King of Swords in reverse? Someone who may not be fair, at least temporarily. Someone who may not be nice, somebody who may not feel like being nice anymore. Maybe someone has brought this out in you. Maybe someone has brought this out in someone else. It's a shift in perspective. Now, this shift in perspective could also, the King of Swords, very rarely, but in this reading, this really might be the case. When a King of Swords is in reverse, he holds that sword and he points it inward. And it could be someone really looking at themselves logically, saying, okay, what was my part in this? How could I have been different? Maybe I should really re-examine, reevaluate, right? This could be you reacting to how someone else is acting. This could be you pointing inward to reevaluate. This could be someone else doing exactly the same thing. But there is a King of Swords reverse around you or inside of you this month. You do have the Tower, and the Tower coming in reverse here, Mars in Aries. Now, the Tower in reverse can mean many things in many readings, but with these cards, taking into consideration these cards, I do think that this is a change that you yourself are bringing about. Usually the Tower is a force that we cannot control nor predict. It just comes, right? And here, I really believe this is you bringing about this tower and sort of making it so. Now, this could be a situation that you had with another person who you were involved with, right? Definitely could be someone you were very passionate about at one time. This also could be a job that you were very passionate about, a goal that you were very passionate about, that you are reevaluating, something that didn't give you what it should have given you, or something that gave you a lot more negative things and it did positive things, but it is a reevaluation. And when we add this up and we break this down, we get the moon, which is Cancer energy. And what does the moon create? It creates a pull, right? That lunar stuff creates a pull. And this is creating a pull for you to turn the hell around and see that new path. Look at the new path here. All right. So now that we've re-summarized that, let's move on. Now, for your overarching energy here, you have the planet Saturn. And Saturn is Aquarius' ruling planet. It is also Capricorn's ruling planet. Either way, it is the planet of karma. It is the planet of hard work, discipline, retribution could be. But, it does pay to mention that on September 1st, Saturn is retrograde in Pisces. So it's going to be retrograde in your sign. And this period sort of invites you to look inward. What did I say? The sword of that King of Swords pointing inward. It invites us to look inward, recognize what might be holding us back, holding you back from this path, and embrace. It is time for it's time for you to step into a power position, like especially as a Pisces. This is a really important time for you. So as soon as the month starts, boom! I mean, you start off running as far as all that stuff goes. You have here haystack and rat. So the haystack is karma. You will reap what you have sown. What did I say? Saturn is the Lord of karma. So it doesn't have to be negative. I mean, I know that sounds ominous, right? It could be you're getting what you deserve finally, meaning in a positive way. Maybe you understand you deserve more. Could be. But karma, haystack, Saturn, definitely tying together. You have rat here. Someone working against you behind your back. Yeah, it could be for some of you. It could definitely be something has turned you off here. It could be a job, could be a work environment, could be a person that you once had different feelings about. Now, also, this could represent the year of the rat. If you or somebody else was born in the year of the rat, that could be a really big indicator. You have the forest here. And, when I see it, you could find sanctuary in a forest. I know I do. I hike at least 5 times a week, and I find a lot of I find that is a sanctuary for me. But this here the first thing that popped into my head is you weren't seeing the forest for the trees. There was something you weren't seeing. You're going to turn around this month and see it for sure. And you're going to see it when you turn inward. When you turn all that Piscean, beautiful Neptunian energy inward. I am a Pisces stellium, by the way, and it is something that many people do not guess about me because I am extremely Aquarian. Like, you meet me and yeah, some people guess Leo, but most people do guess me, and I am an Aquarian sun. But I have a lot of Pisces placements, and I keep that really under my hat here. So yes, you're going to be turning inward. You're going to be solving something that needs to be solved. And who better to do it during a Saturn retrograde in Pisces than you? Absolutely, positively, perfect. You have designer here. Yeah, it is going to be something you're designing. Let me see. For sure. Yeah. This is like, it could be literal designer. You could be in that field. But I do think that there is something you're designing from the bottom floor, from ground zero. You're designing a brand new path for yourself here. You do have zebra. And it says open-mindedness. It says there's more than one way of looking at things. You must be ready to accept an alternative viewpoints, new ideas. You must open your eyes to see new ideas, to see this path behind you, Pisces. There's something you really need to see. It's not that I don't think you're open-minded. I think it goes deeper than that. I think there is something you need to see. You need to see the forest for the trees. You need to see for many of you, the rat that's in your environment, perhaps. You do have palm, and this is destiny, because your destiny, I really do think, number 18 in this deck, I do think that your destiny awaits, and it awaits down that path that you don't see right away. And what's interesting is you do have, this is number 18, breaks down to a 9, right? And you have number 9 here too. Hold on. You have number 9, it says, I am compassionate, but number 9 is that Mars energy. So it could be Spirit asking you to step into that assertive type of confidence, you know? Yeah, because look, you have the Mars energy pointing inward with that Tower as well. It is your compassion that makes you shine. You are devoted to helping the greater good, and you have a strong talent for speaking up for others. Your soul is most satisfied when you are being of service. Perhaps, yes. As a Pisces, I'm sure that is true. But and it says I am compassionate, and maybe you have been, and maybe that's who you are. But I do think with these number 9s, you're being asked to step into a different role this month, and you're being asked to be more confident and assertive, more fiery. Okay, you do have here the desert coming in sideways, but look, what do you see here on both of these cards? You see hands. It's almost like the hand of God. It's almost like you're, and you know, I use God in a very liberal way. Yes, it could be God if that's what you believe in, but it is something higher than yourself, whatever that is, all right? And you do have the moon guiding you. What did I say? The moon creates a pull, and it looks like this hand is coming up towards the moon, right? For sure. There is a desert here on the table. When we look at a desert is dry, a desert is arid, a desert doesn't grow any vegetation. Unlike the forest, you have an extreme here. And it's a drought, and it can bring unexpected visions when you're in the desert, right? It can be very disorienting. It can be very disorienting, especially for a water sign. Especially for a water sign. This is something that you're going to have to go through, and you're going to have to see, you're going to have to turn around, you're going to have to examine, and you're going to have to be uncomfortable in order to get through this. Just a little bit, okay? You have a triquetra here on the table, right? This could involve 3 people or 3 different things. The triquetra is the answer to this ruin is always no. So there could be something you're saying no to. You're putting your hand up and saying, no, no more. No, I'm done, right? It does represent the triquetra in the witch's ruins. It represents Aries, Libra, Mars, Venus, right? You have the letters R, S, D as in David, and C as in camp. And this could be someone's initials. It could be a town, a city, a restaurant, a company, anything like that, a street name. So keep these under your hat. One of them or all of them will mean something by the time the end of the month comes, okay? Now here at the bottom, you have your 3 legs, and I always tell you your 3 legs can come in order or it can come out of order. It's going to be different for each Pisces, all right? So it's situational more than anything else. You have, and the larger cards, like I always tell everybody, I only take them in the upright, but I take note of them when they come in the reverse. Now you do have the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is pure water energy. Like yourself, it is the hand of God offering you something, right? It is the hand of this whole, the spirit. It is spirit handing you something, right? This could be a great new beginning, the start of something brand new, something really fulfilling for you. Now this came in reverse, and this tells me that at first you're not looking at this the way you should. You do turn it in the upright, but maybe it's this, maybe it's the cup that is behind you that you refuse to look at initially. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to put this here for a second. You have the 8 of Cups. Oh, the 8. Hold on one second. Let me just. Sorry about that. The 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is Saturn and Pisces energy. And instead of walking away, you're staying put. Now, why is that? You have, yeah, you're creating something. creating something brand new, because you have the creatrix, right? The creatrix is a fancy magician type energy in this deck. The creatrix is something instead of walking away from something, you're recreating it. You're changing your mindset. You're changing your, I don't know, that something's changing, but you're not changing. It's almost like you're stubbornly staying where you are. However, you're making sure everything's different. I don't know if that makes sense to you. You do have the Three of Pentacles here coming in reverse, and this is Saturn and Capricorn energy. You're eliminating something. You're eliminating something on the outside, their input. It could be, like I said, other people's input. The Three of Pentacles is like coming together with other people and working on something together. You have this in reverse, but you have the creatrix in the upright, which means you're doing this by yourself. The creatrix is a number 1. This is a number 3. What did I say? There could be 3 people involved in this. You do have at the bottom, and the undertone of this whole thing is healing. More water energy for sure, but you're healing something. Now, this could be literally anything, right? Could be your emotional well-being, your I mean, there's something that's healing, because there was something that broke here. There was something that hurt over here. So whatever it is, or whatever it was, you're moving past that. And I really like that for you. When we add this up and we break it down, it is Neptune energy. And for each sign that will be different, but for Pisces, that is your power. This is a power energy for you. And this is really good energy for you. You figure out what you need to figure out. You do. You do. You do go into the desert there, but you figure it out. Okay. Coming in the truly upright, you have the Emperor. Man, this is like the top of the food chain as far as fire signs, and this is in the upright. This is you moving into the most powerful position that you could move into. Okay, so whatever it was that was going on that made you feel a certain way. Remember, I said that there was some sort of fire position that you're moving into, something fiery. Well, here it is. Aries energy, power. And you have these 2 cards coming in sideways. Card number 1, the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is sideways. Decision, Moon in Cancer. Decide. All right, let me just show you. You have the Four of Cups coming in sideways, and you also have the Hierophant coming in sideways. And the Hierophant is Taurian energy. So you have Taurus energy on the table, and you have Moon and Cancer energy here on the table. And with these cards coming in sideways, you have a deciding whether to commit to something here on the table or reject it. Because, the Four of Cups is like, nah, not today, Satan, right? And the Hierophant is, yes, I'm going to commit to this fully, traditionally commit. And they're both sideways along with the Emperor. You are trying to decide what you want to commit to, what you don't, what's worth your time, what might not be. You do have here the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is Sun in Leo, which is more fire energy, but he's in reverse, right? And so it's almost like someone around you is trying to dumb you down, if that makes sense, right? You're taking your Emperor energy and turning it around and making you a King of Wands in reverse, if that makes sense. And a King of Wands in reverse is not, is all over the place. I mean, yes, he has a fire energy about him, but he's all over the place. He doesn't really commit to anything. He doesn't really get much done. He's just scattered fire energy, right? Someone's trying to dumb you down. But you know what? Remember when I said that you're being offered this cup from a higher spiritual being than yourself, right? This could be the law of attraction, God, Jesus, angels, ancestors, whatever. But this is help. You're receiving help, for sure. So make no mistake here. All right, you're receiving some help. You do have here, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Uranus energy. And that Uranus energy is sudden change. It's rebellion, unexpected stuff. And maybe you're going to do something unexpected to other people. Maybe you're going to come across in a way that you've never come across before. Maybe people are going to be super surprised about that. Very well could be. Very well could be. So when we move on to your third leg here, we get even more fire energy here. Wow. So you get the Strength card, more Leo energy, but this is fire energy for sure. And this is coming in reverse. So as I told you, we take note of it. So when this leg starts, you may not be at your strongest, okay? The Strength in reverse is definitely different, right? This is something, it's almost like someone's trying to weaken you. And if this has happened with that infinity symbol, this is something that's happened before with this person. I don't know whether it's happened with you or with other people, right? But you have Leo here, courage, but you turn this around, right? Courage, persuasion, patience, strength, a show of strength. Let me see. You have the star here in reverse. The star is Aquarius energy. You are tired of hoping, tired of wishing for something for these cups to be filled. You're tired of it, and you're putting your faith somewhere else. You're putting your faith elsewhere, okay? You have the Nine of Pentacles coming in sideways, right? The Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful, independent, goal-oriented card. Self-care, prosperity, independence. Solid decision that you have to make here, because this is coming in sideways. And here at the bottom you have your Page of Pentacles, and your Page of Pentacles is Mercury and Taurus energy. New amazing opportunity, brand new, definitely brand new. It looks like I think most of you are going to go for this, because look, you have the Wild. Now look at this card. Doesn't it look like you see, I see the Hermit. I also see the Six of Swords here, and I also see fire. So it's almost like if the Six of Swords and the Hermit had a child on a fiery planet, it would be this card. There's that fire energy again. I wonder if you have fire highly aspected in your chart. It doesn't really matter, because you're stepping into that this month. And I do like the idea of you holding up that lantern to go inward, to get in that boat and just move to better shores. And this is like all sort of symbolic, but you're doing it in a fiery way. You're like, yeah, I've arrived. And when we add this up and we break it down, we get Uranus again, which is that rebellion, that freedom, feeling your freedom. Now, looking at your challenges, here you have a decision to make with the Six of Cups, whether to, Sun and Scorpio, whether to let go of the past or not. And there it is again. That's going to be a key decision for you, a key challenge. All right, for sure, because you have the Nine of Swords here, and the Nine of Swords doesn't look easy. But there's that desert energy, right? Especially for a fire sign, man. That's just like, it doesn't look like an easy decision. All right, it's easy for me to say all this stuff, but for you to live it and make these decisions and step into this is a whole different thing. But you have your Queen of Cups, and there you are drinking your cup. You're drinking out of the cup that was offered to you. So will it be a challenge? Yes. Will it be worth it? Also, yes. Yet when we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus energy, Taurus, Libra energy, but it's your love life and it's also your money. So choose wisely, okay? Opportunities. You have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords, and this is in reverse. The Eight of Swords in the upright, look how trapped this person is. You are on this side as an opportunity, freeing yourself from something. Jupiter and Gemini energy. It is that freedom. It is that Uranus energy, for sure. I know Gemini is not Uranus, it's Mercury, but there is a freedom here on the table, right? Freeing yourself of something. You have the Two of Wands, getting out and getting away. Over here, he's kind of hanging a little bit, right? But over here, he is making progress, right? Now, the Two of Wands is a planning card normally, but in this card, it's an action card. And in this deck, it's an action card. Either way, you have an opportunity to either plan or take action, okay? Here you have the Seven of Pentacles here in reverse. The Seven of Pentacles is Saturn and Taurus energy. No more waiting around for harvest. The harvest is upon you. The harvest is upon you and you're enjoying your harvest. No more waiting. as an opportunity, no more waiting. When we add this up and we break it down, we get number 8, which is Saturn. We're back to the beginning of the reading. Capricorn, Aquarius energy. We start with Saturn, we end with Saturn. Go back and listen to what I said about the Saturn, the Saturn in Pisces retrograde, okay? For sure. Now, when we do your numbers, I like to add everything up. When we add everything up in this reading, we break it down, we get Venus energy again. So your love life and or your money. For many of you, I think this is goal-oriented. The number 8 came out the most, and guess what that is? Saturn. The planet that came out the most? Saturn. The sign that came out the most? Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn. So you have Saturn 3 times closing out this reading. You have Venus once, and you have that undertone of Uranus, that freedom that comes with all this karma that you've made for yourself. I would take action on this. Step into this fire energy that you're being offered. The desert is where the answers are, is where the answers lie here. Okay? The desert is where you will find your answers. I wish you nothing but the best. Namaste.